So what happens when you try to throw an ex-president in jail and you don't want to give up even when things look bad? We're going to talk about it.
Terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I like to thank you and welcome to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Now remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things.
Stop it. Get some help.
So today we're going to talk about Fani Willis. Actually, there's three main characters in this story. So you're going to have Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, and Terrence Bradley. So I'm going to try to give you a simple breakdown of what's going on with this trial. This is very interesting. So Fani Willis will be the DA, the head prosecutor for Fulton County, which is in Georgia. Now, she's come to prominence recently because of the charges that she brung on former President Donald Trump. Now, it all stemmed from a phone call. Donald Trump thought he won the election. He thought the election got stolen. So he made a few phone calls to Georgia to, play around with the electors and all that. That's a whole different case. But that's how it all started. So Fani Willis brought him up on charges. So they're looking into racketeering. It's kind of like a collusion charge. So that's why she named more than Donald Trump. She named Giuliani and among other people. I forgot how many people in total, but it's multiple people, more than 10 actually. So that was the case that Fani Willis brought against Donald Trump and the rest of, the people that she thought was involved in this conspiracy to play around with the Georgia election or the presidential election in Georgia. Because you do understand, when you vote for a president, you don't really vote for a president. OK, I'm going to break it down for you very simply right quick. So when you cast your vote, you're not really voting for the president directly. The electors actually cast the vote for that state. And you have a certain amount of electors in every single state. All right. She brought the case against Donald Trump. Now, at some point, some of the lawyers that had their clients, they came into some knowledge that the DA, Fani Willis, was having relations with independent counsel Nathan Wade, who doesn't really work directly for the DA's office, but he is employed as a independent service. So they work for the DA, but not directly. They're like contractors almost. So one thing about that situation is that they're not supposed to have contact with the DA's office in terms of, certain type of contact, we'll just say. And if they do, I'm aware that I said effing, leave me alone. If they do, then they are under obligation to report it to the court. This is where they messed up. Okay. So they had an actual affair. Now, at first, everybody was quiet on it. It was just accusations. But at some point, when they started to have a hearing, or, when they were granted a hearing to see if the DA's office can stay on that case, Fani Willis, I'm sorry, I keep saying Fani. No, Fani is what she was giving up. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. All right, so Fani at some point went ahead and just admitted the affair, which was kind of smart because she got ahead of the situation. She knew that they had enough evidence to show her to be a liar if she had denied it. So she came out and she just admitted it. But that isn't how that's not the good part. Let's get to the meat of it. Let's get to the parts that make it a good story. It's like a soap opera. You can't write this stuff. So how did they find out? How did those lawyers find out? So enter your boy, Terrence Bradley. So Terrence Bradley had a law firm with Nathan Wade. They had a law firm together. It was 3 of them. At some point, Terrence Bradley got involved into some accusations with some clients and some employees, female clients and female employees. I think you know where I'm going with this. So they kind of like iced him out and got him out the paint, right? So they couldn't deal with him anymore. I guess he felt a certain way about that. So what better way to get at Nathan Wade than to let these lawyers know that were representing Trump and his tribe, right? Letting them know that, hey, the head prosecutor that's over the case, Fani Willis, the DA, she's having an affair with the guy that's taking you to trial right now. So they have a vested interest, and they've went out to all these expensive trips to Aruba and among other places. They went everywhere. They went to a lot of places, and she got kickbacks. So you give somebody some gifts and you get them paid, and then they kick either money to you or gifts or take you out. And you're not supposed to do that when you're in a position to use taxpayers' money. You're not supposed to benefit from it, because that creates a dishonest environment, right? So now I can just give my best friend that contract. That's $1 million contract. But hey, I can give you that contract if you do this over here for me. That's illegal. When you have a position of power, especially a public office, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to benefit from that money, from the taxpayers' money in that way. Now, what are some other details of the situation? So Fani Willis makes a certain amount. Now, supposedly, she almost doubled the amount she was paying out to Nathan Wade's law firm. Okay. So you had a situation where your I don't want to call him boyfriend, but the guy you were messing with, you had some kind of physical relationship with, you pay him almost double what you make, but you're responsible for him getting that. So it's quite believable if you're going on expensive trips with this same person and you're paying him almost double what you make. Logic would tell you that you're okay with him paying for some stuff. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you're the reason why he's making that money. So they went on the stand and they denied it. Fani denied it. Nathan denied it. Here comes old Terrence, right? He's the best and worst person in this whole situation because he told everything. He got with his lawyer. It was he had them eyes. He had that jungle fever going on. He wanted a little bit of that white woman. You get what I'm saying? And he started telling. He told everything, right? He texted to her, which is the worst thing you could do. If you don't want something to come out, do not use text messages. It's going to stay there forever. If the person doesn't delete it, but even then it could be recovered. So he texted her everything, but he got himself on the stand and denied everything and tried to say that the stuff was privileged and I can't talk about it and stuff like this, which is interesting. So why would he do that? In my estimation, in my opinion, he just wanted it to come out so he can get back at Nathan Wade, but he didn't necessarily want to be involved. And, you know, he didn't want to be looked at as the person that showed her the text. He wanted her to take the text and bring charges on them so they can, you know, be removed off the case. But he didn't want to be attached to it so everybody won't know it's him. Because you run into situations where you can lose your law license. Okay, especially if it was privileged information you told as a lawyer, and then you run into a situation where nobody wants to hire you, right? You're a tattletale. You're telling everybody's business. Why in the world would I hire you as a lawyer if I know that you're going to tell all my business? You get what I'm saying? So those were, in my opinion, some of the motivators of why he got on the stand, and he just denied. Fani got on the stand, denied. The problem is some of the text messages that Terrence sent to the lawyer, Ashley Merchant, I believe, they totally told a different story from what Fani told on that stand and Nathan. They tried to say that they knew of each other. They were friends. It was like a mentor type relationship, mentor-mentee, and they didn't have anything romantic until after the charges came about with Donald Trump. So they tried to say they met in 2019, but they didn't have anything physical till after 2022. The problem is some of the information that Terrence put in those text messages to the lawyer tell a different story. It tells the story of them being intimate before 2022. Here's your problem. So you can't make this stuff. You can't write it better than this. This is a great movie. This is a Lifetime movie or something. It's probably not even Lifetime. This could actually go on the big screen, and I'll go see it. I ain't gonna lie. It's very entertaining. So what I want you out there to do at this point, because we're still waiting for the judge to make his ruling. And this is going to get interesting. But what I want you to do, I want you to suspend. That was hard to get out. So I want you to suspend whether you are a Democrat, Republican, whether you think conservative, liberal. I want you to throw all that out the window for the time being. Okay. And I want you to look at facts. What's right and what's wrong in this situation. I think it comes down to that. And in this situation, if you are in the position that Fani was in, and you're going to have a romantic partnership with the person working for you, you need to let the courts know, because I think that's part of the obligation when you end up in that type of scenario. And another thing as well is that if you're in that situation and you're going after somebody like a former president, so you're opening yourself to a lot of scrutiny. And let's be honest, political things get ugly. So people are looking for things on you, right? So if you have that type of thing going on, don't put your boo thing as the lead prosecutor on it. Okay. You can actually put them on the team. Just don't put them as the head, because it looks a certain way. There's one more detail that makes it look a little funny for Fani. Hey, that was catchy. Funny for Fani. You get it. But one other thing that makes it look a little suspect is that Nathan Wade has never prosecuted that type of case. He's been used to doing misdemeanors and all these other things. He's never prosecuted that type of case, even though he's getting paid twice the amount of the other lawyers involved. Sounds a little funny. Sound like you just wanted your boo thing to get a little airtime so he can get a little more famous and you can get famous off of it. That's what it looks like to me. The smart move would have been to put your best lawyer on it, period, right? Somebody that has a lot of experience in prosecuting those type of cases. I'm not saying what's right. I'm not saying what's wrong. Honestly, this is the part about politics that I really do not mess with. I think it's hogwash. I think it's, it's very messed up how politics work, because you can't, when you're digging up dirt on somebody, you can't have any dirt on you. And I just think that's the one thing I wish wasn't in politics. I wish everybody can be in a situation where they can be 100% honest and we can just pick from the honest people. However, it doesn't work like that, does it, family? So I need you to go ahead, use your best judgment. There's a lot more to the case, but I just wanted to give you a brief synopsis of what's going on. Was Fani Willis right? Did she do anything wrong? I would say she did a lot of things wrong. I think I believe that. Well, I shouldn't say believe. I hold to the opinion that she made a lot of moves along the way. Now, I'm not going to fault for her for, having feelings for somebody, or, men and women, they're going to be attracted to each other, right? And you put them in an environment together where it's just the two of them working, and then it just works, and the chemistry goes somewhere, and you feel certain vibes. You start hanging with the person, talking to the person, and you're feeling them a little bit. Stuff gonna happen. Okay, so I'm not gonna fault her on that. The problem is when she knew that was the situation and she was gonna bring the biggest case of her life, you can't put your boo thing on there just cause, right? Especially if he's never prosecuted that kind of case. What do you and then the case of Terrence, did he do the right thing? I can make the argument that he did the right and wrong thing, right? He was right in letting the truth come out, but he was wrong not taking accountability that he was the one that put the information out there, right? Some people call him a snitch. No, that's another thing. Like when we talk about the whole snitching thing, we need to be very careful, because the real definition of a snitch is somebody that commits and takes part in a certain situation or a certain crime that tell on the other people in the crime to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not snitching if you never take part in it and you see it. So let's just change the way we talk about that type of situation. For instance, if you're a person and you look out your blinds and you see somebody's committing a crime right in front of you and you decide to tell the authorities what's happening, you're not snitching. So let's stop using that word incorrectly. What you are, you're being a good citizen. Actually, you get what I'm saying? So that's not snitching. But if if you are a person and you're outside those blinds and you're taking part of that in that crime with that other person, and then when you both get caught, you say, well, I'll tell you everything, but I want to not go to jail. And then everybody else goes to jail. That's a snitch. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. So Bradley didn't snitch, but the boy tattled. He told. He definitely told for sure. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. That's a brief breakdown. I'm going to come back, hit you with a new video. Once the verdict comes out, we'll see what happens to your girl, Fani. Sorry, that was given away to Fani. Your boy, Nathan Wade. And, of course, Terrence Bradley as the lawyer's turn. I'm out of here. Peace.